It is said that the sea monster has a long body, and wagging its tail can destroy a large ship. And that's what Fulong's villagers or the French sailors say. You can listen to the story of the two encounters between the sea monster and the inhabitant of Fulong village that Vok Island told you before with the link in the description down below. Today, Vok Islands want to share with everyone about the encounter between the sea monster and the Western Navy. The story is written in Navy Captain Larsau's report, a commanding officer of Avalanche battleship. In July of 1897, sailors on the Avalanche ship saw two strange creatures appear in Ha Long Bay. According to what they described, the two sea monsters were about 20 meters long and their diameter was from 2 to 3 meters. They were swimming in the water like huge snakes. On the ship, the sailors continually fired cannons at them, so they tried to hide by diving deep into the ocean. That meeting seems to be the first and the last one. On February 24, 1898, there were two creatures swimming in front of their ships. Captain Larsau caught up with this chance and he asked his crew to chase them for 3.5 hours. When shortening the distance to only 200 meters, the captain saw their heads were like two seals but twice as big. On February 12, 1904, 14 Times magazine once again published another story about the sea monster, but this time was shared by Mr. Piron, captain of the Chateauneuf. Mr. Piron recounted that when he and his crew were patrolling on Kongkok Island, there was a sailor who ran to Mr. Piron and informed of him that the road ahead was being obstructed by a rock. Mr. Piron used his binoculars to observe to clarify the situation. When he looked closely, he confirmed that it was not a rock, but a sea creature of enormous size. Curious about this creature, he asked his crew to move quickly to it, but its swimming speed was too fast for the ship to keep up. Didn't want to quit, he and some crewsmen took the canoe to chase the sea monster. Approaching the animal, he saw two sea monsters that looked like two giant eels. Their skin is grey and has pale yellow spots. Perhaps knowing that they were discovered, the two monsters dived deep into the sea. The story didn't stop there. On March 18, 1925, a sailor on French steamship Saint-François-Xavier sent a letter to Captain Lannesson. The letter was written about the encounter with the sea monster on the way to patrol in Haiphong Sea area. Different from the two previous stories, this time the sailor saw two black blocks. Their heads are like camel's head with a neck about 2.5 meters long. In addition, the monster's diameter body looked like a barrel of wine. This time, two sea monsters appeared in about 15 hours, under the witnesses of many people from many countries such as Europe, Africa, Chinese and even Vietnamese. In 1936, passengers on an Air France flight also saw the sea monster from above. Furthermore, Mr. Nguyễn Đình Minh, a Fulong discharge officer, also confirmed that he saw a giant creature's corpse which was also washed ashore. However, up until now, there has been no studies that provide evidence or definitive research results on the sea monsters. If you like this story, please follow Vok Island so we can have more motivation to research and send the stories to you.